Now, this video is about putting your house on the market in the first instance and then getting a buyer. But what happens if it doesn't quite go according to plan, and what options are available to you? Hi, it's me again, Neil Robinson, Skelmersdale's estate agent. Now, the good news is that when you do agree a sale on your home, it's very rarely a total rush job, and sales do take time to go through, and buyers often completely understand that you have to find a new home. In any case, it's my job as your agent to communicate that to your buyer and set your buyer's expectations. But that does mean that you do need to start looking and you do need to start viewing. Now, if you're struggling to find the right property, then understandably, you can probably feel the pressure rising a little bit. And at that point, it's advisable to simply be honest with us so that we can manage the expectations of your buyer. It may be a little bit different if they themselves are selling a property, but generally if they're a first-time buyer or at least in a proceedable position, then they're quite flexible. They're usually quite flexible with their own timings. They won't wait forever though, so do start looking and do start viewing. Now, if you manage to find somewhere, then in most cases, you should be okay. In some cases, it could be that the property you're buying either sells to someone else, or if you're buying it, something could happen that makes your purchase fall through. In this case, you've got a buyer, but you've no property to go to. I would completely advise against panic buying a new property. I really wouldn't want you to buy something just for the sheer hell of it. As your agent, it's my job to try and work with your buyer to see if we can agree an extended timescale. And most of the time that does actually work. As a last resort, however, and usually if your buyer wants to move quickly, you could move into a rented property. Now, some flatly refuse this as they don't want to move twice, and that's perfectly understandable. However, you do need to consider if it's worth losing the buyer that you have and how likely it will be that you'll end up finding another one. And if you do find another one, then will you just end up in the same position that you're in now? The good thing about moving into rented accommodation is that it's generally quite flexible, and it puts you in a very similar position to a first-time buyer in that you can move chain-free. If you really don't want that though, then it's worth remembering that you're not legally obliged to complete the deal if you haven't exchanged contracts. You could pull out, but that would leave you back at square one. The definitive answer, in all honesty, can't be given just on a video. However, my view is that everything is generally sortable. And depending on the views of the buyer and the position of the buyer and the seller, then solutions can generally be reached. There are 3 ways you can have your home valued. First, the instant valuation can give you an on-screen instant estimate as to what your home may be worth. It is a computer algorithm though, so it can't know the uniqueness or the position of your home, but it's a great place to start. If you want something more accurate, then our virtual valuation is a great option for you. Book an appointment with me and take me on a tour of your home using your mobile phone. The third way is an on-site valuation.
Simply go to neilrobinson.co.uk and go to the valuation booker. Select the valuation type you'd like, pick a date and time and enter your details. If you'd rather speak to me or you have any questions, call 01695 355 110. I'd be pleased to help.